Around 53 million years in the past, the climate was remarkably warm in this region, adorned with palm-filled shores and air temperatures exceeding 20 degrees Celsius. In a stark contrast, the temperature recently plummeted to minus 89.2 degrees Celsius in the same location. This landmass ranks as the world's fifth largest continent, with a staggering 99% of its expanse enveloped in ice, averaging about 3 kilometers in thickness. Home to approximately 80% of the Earth's freshwater reserves, this continent is off-limits unless you've undergone the removal of your wisdom teeth or appendix. This frozen expanse is Antarctica, a land whose surface has been extensively studied. Yet the true intrigue lies beneath the thick layers of ice. Delving into the mysteries beneath, we seek answers to questions about potential life and its resemblance to our own. Join us in uncovering the secrets hidden under Antarctica's icy surface. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. In the late 19th century, Russian scientist Peter Kropotkin postulated the presence of freshwater beneath the glaciers of Antarctica. Kropotkin's hypothesis suggested that the immense pressure from the mass of ice could lower the melting point in the glacier's lowest regions, turning ice into liquid water. Subsequently, approximately 400 such lakes have been identified as of 2021, with one in particular capturing the attention of scientists. This reservoir, known as Lake Vostok, boasts an age of 500,000 years, representing a valuable repository of knowledge about our world and potentially harboring prehistoric life forms. The existence of this lake under the Russian Vostok station was initially proposed in 1966 based on satellite images, and it took until 1996 for confirmation. Confirmation of this information led to the establishment of Lake Vostok's boundaries. Comprising various datasets, the lake stretches over an impressive 250 kilometers in length, 50 kilometers in width, covering an area of 12,500 square kilometers, roughly equivalent to Sydney. Estimates indicate a depth ranging from 600 to 1,200 meters, slightly less than the depths of Lake Baikal, the deepest lake. In terms of volume, Lake Vostok secures the 5th position among the world's largest lakes, an immense reservoir concealed beneath a 4,000-meter thick ice layer. Can you fathom that? This colossal body of water lies hidden beneath our gaze, situated 500 meters below sea level, making it one of Earth's lowest lakes in terms of altitude. Remarkably, the water in the lake appears to have been preserved, untouched for an astounding 15 to 25 million years, predating the emergence of Homo sapiens. Despite its ancient origins, the lake maintains an average water temperature of minus 3 degrees Celsius. One might question why the lake doesn't freeze. The answer lies in the high pressure exerted by the adjacent layer of ice, coupled with geothermal heat from the Earth's core, which keeps the lake bed warm. The surroundings of Lake Vostok are permeated with nitrogen and oxygen, a consequence believed to be linked to the immense mass of continental ice generating a pressure of approximately 350 atmospheres. This leads to a nitrogen and oxygen concentration 50 times higher than typical freshwater lakes, with a noteworthy comparison to car wheels, which exert a pressure of only 2 atmospheres. Surviving in the lake's extreme pressure presents a formidable challenge, prompting scientists to explore its mysteries. The drilling endeavor commenced in 1989, and by 1998, researchers at Vostok Station had successfully extracted one of the world's longest ice cores, measuring 3,623 meters. This collaborative effort involved teams from Russia, France, and America, while ice samples near the lake's surface indicate an age of around 420,000 years. Drilling intentionally ceased approximately 100 meters above the estimated boundary between the ice sheet and the lake's waters. This precautionary measure aimed to prevent pollution, particularly from freon and kerosene, substances maintaining the well's resistance to freezing. In November 2010, after presenting the final environmental assessment, scientists received approval from the Environmental Protection Committee for the Antarctic Treaty to proceed with sampling the ancient waters. Drilling recommenced in 2011, and by February 2012, Valery Lukin, the head of the Russian expedition, reported a mere 50 meters remaining until reaching the surface of Lake Vostok. Upon the thermal drill sensor detecting liquid water, the drill was promptly withdrawn. The removal of the drill created a pressure differential, facilitating the entry of water into the well. The researchers allowed the lake's waters to freeze within a core, and a few months later, they collected samples of the newly formed ice, sending them to a laboratory for analysis. The crucial question remained: what did they uncover? Preceding 1998, Scott Rogers led a team from Bowling Green University in Ohio, identifying 3,507 unique gene sequences from ice samples taken around 170 meters above Lake Vostok's surface. However, this discovery faced substantial skepticism within the scientific community. Sergei Bulat, a microbiologist at the St. Petersburg Institute of Nuclear Physics, dismissed it as contamination. His team examined the same set of samples and concluded that they were indeed compromised. Eski Willerslev, a globally recognized ancient DNA specialist, also expressed reservations. He found it dubious that cultures isolated for millions of years would exhibit nearly identical microbial sequences to those known outside the lake, suggesting contamination in at least some of the obtained sequences. Nonetheless, certain findings were validated. In 2004, the first confirmation came when an extremophile was discovered at a depth of 3,607 meters. These organisms derive energy from inorganic substances and demonstrate the ability to endure extreme conditions. It's noteworthy that they were found beneath 3,607 meters of ice, equivalent to 3 Burj Khalifa towers stacked atop each other, coincidentally the tallest building globally. Research indicates that these creatures thrive comfortably at temperatures around -50 degrees Celsius. Presumably, these bacteria were originally discovered in warm reservoirs at the lake's bottom. However, in 2014, Sergei Bulat revealed a groundbreaking find, an entirely unknown bacterium named W12310. This bacterium was identified on the drill bit containing water extracted from Lake Vostok. Sergei documented this discovery in a scientific paper published in the PubMed magazine. What makes this bacterium particularly intriguing is that it shares only 86% genetic similarity with all known living organisms in modern science. This remarkably low similarity suggests that W12310 evolved independently from the external world for millions of years. This finding raises the possibility that we may not have been alone in the universe throughout our history, hinting at the potential for an isolated environment in Lake Vostok, sealed off by ice for millions of years. Theoretically, this lake might possess conditions akin to the ice-covered oceans on Jupiter's moon, Europa, and Saturn's moon, Enceladus, where comparable discoveries might be made. Despite the allure and mystery of Lake Vostok, practicality suggests exploring more accessible bodies of water. Accordingly, scientists turned their attention to Lake Whillans. Unlike other lakes, the weight of the ice causes the water to rise beneath the glacier, situating the lake on the side of a hill. This thin, 2-meter-deep layer of water, covering almost 60 square kilometers, is held within a pocket of low pressure created by the ice sheet. On January 27, 2013, scientists successfully penetrated the ice cover and reached Lake Whillans, marking a significant achievement in exploration. Under intense pressure, water surged into the well, filling its lower section by 30 meters. Within a day, the initial samples were extracted from the lake, accompanied by the deployment of a camera to capture images from the lake's depths. Astonishingly, a diverse array of bacteria was discovered in this light-deprived environment situated approximately 800 meters below the ice surface. The microorganisms thriving here are chemoautotrophic bacteria, deriving energy from chemical reactions within organic compounds. They sustain themselves by producing food through the reduction of iron, sulfur, and nitrogen compounds in the lake, akin to the way plants and algae on Earth's surface utilize solar energy for food production. This marked the first successful retrieval of high-quality specimens from an Antarctic subglacial lake. In 2019, researchers ventured 600 kilometers from the South Pole to drill another subglacial reservoir named Mercer Lake. A 1,067-meter-long core was extracted to collect samples from Mercer Subglacial Lake, which lies beneath the ice at this depth. Scientific exploration of subglacial Antarctic lakes continued, with dirt samples revealing unexpected findings under the microscope. Upon close inspection, elongated structures resembling parts of mushrooms or plants were observed. Surprisingly, researchers identified remains of tardigrades and crustacean exoskeletons surpassing expectations for the complexity of life in these environments. While the origin of these organisms remains uncertain, whether native or transported by moving ice, the discovery suggests the potential for a more extensive spectrum of life under the Antarctic ice than previously thought, inviting further exploration.